Hey guys, welcome to another SRI New Home Showcase. Today we are here again at Lentor, but this time it's a brand new Lentor concept that it was different from the other three projects that we have showcased. And this is what we like to call Lentor Mansion. That is proudly developed, solely developed by Guacoland. So Ken, share with us a little bit more about Lentor Mansion.
So this is the fifth launch in the Lentor Enclave in the past 2 years. And it's amazing to see how URA has created very different concepts across all 11 plots.
Okay.
What is more amazing is today we saw how Guacoland has once again outdone themselves in terms of the conceptualization and the design of this development.
Sure.
Lentor Mansion was designed with homestay in mind.
Right.
And they wanted these homes to transcend through generations.
Right.
And we are very excited to share with you the full details of Lentor Mansion in this part of the video.
Cannot wait, but first let's check out the larger transformation story of the whole Lentor, shall we?
Let's go.
Alright, so today we're going to debunk the myths about Lentor and find out a little bit more about whether is it true or false about what you guys are thinking. So first question, Ken, Lentor's Ulu is in the northern part of Singapore and it is hard to get around. Is that true or false?
False.
Okay, what?
So because Lentor, people always link it to the extreme north of Singapore because of the expressway board on SLE, right?
Yep.
And they link it to Yishun. We are actually located just beside Ang Mo Kio.
Okay,
which
that's
is
true.
a more
Very close by.
popular and well-known area in the northeast region.
Mature estate, yep.
So why is it important to be a northeast region is because northeast region has the highest transaction volume in the secondary market every single year. So there's a very huge popularity in this area. That's one. Number two, we are actually beside the larger Ang Mo Kio enclave, and that is how conveniently located we are to the rest of Singapore.
Next question that we want to debunk the myths. It is very hard to get in and out of Lentor because of the frequent jams on CT, and from what we have heard on the ground that it takes a very long time to get to town via public transport. Is that true or false?
False.
Again?
Yes, so it may be true now that CT has a bottleneck along Ang Mo
Yeah.
Kio and there's a sudden jam during peak hours, but by 2027, in about 3 years' time, we will have the completion of North-South Corridor, and that acts as a parallel carriage that runs from the north of Singapore down to the southern part where the downtown core is. So with CTE and North-South Corridor running in parallel, we will definitely alleviate any jam when you collect your keys for Lentor Mansion.
Very nice.
On the other hand, for public transport, we are just 5 minutes stroll under a sheltered walkway to Lentor MRT station.
Okay.
And along this Thomson East Coast line, it only takes you about 5 to 7 stations to reach into your Bukit Timah Orchard area. And by estimation of 2 minutes per station, it will only take you about 10 to 15 minutes to reach into these key areas. So it is probably shorter than even driving.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it's false and false. So Ken, it seems to me that the Lentor Mansion land bid came out a little bit lower. Is it true or false that the prices are going to be lower, the PS are going to be lower as well?
False. So I think this has been one worry for a lot of buyers when the launch results came out. The underlying reason is because there are some changes in how URA is looking at the calculation of floor area. What is going to happen moving forward from Lentor Mansion is that developers won't be able to sell aircon ledges anymore.
Right.
They cannot sell void spaces anymore. There's a different calculation in floor area as well, which is going to be a bit complicated to explain over the video. To simplify things, moving forward, you will see smaller floor areas where you buy into because they exclude the void, they exclude the aircon ledges.
Right.
In return, you will see higher per square foot for the units you're purchasing. But what stays the same is actually the quantum that you're buying into. So that explains why with the drop of efficiency from the developers, you see land bid prices to be slightly lower. But end of the day, because of these changes, it is actually status quo.
That's a good explanation for you guys, I hope. Next up, let's go look at the concept and design of Lentor Mansion. So Ken, standing here at the model, I realized that Lentor Mansion looks very different. It looks something that we kind of see in the core central region of Singapore. Why is that so? Why does it look so different? Tell us a little bit more about the concept of Lentor Mansion.
So there's a very strong concept and theme to how Lentor Mansion is being designed. Guacoland wanted to bring in luxury homestay within the Lentor enclave. And when they were conceptualizing this entire development, they wanted to bring in the colonial black and white houses. Traditionally in such houses, you enjoy space, that very strong culture feel that you get. They managed to bring it in to the clubhouse. It stands as a center stage to the entire development. Yet at the same time, when they were trying to bring in the design to the rest of the blocks, it would seem a bit too forceful. So what we get now is a juxtapose between a black and white colonial house together with modern buildings that follow very strongly along the lines of the trees you find in Hillock Park.
Right, that's like the texture of the building,
Yes.
right?
So you can see that we have very strong vertical lines
Yes.
on the buildings itself with very timeless color, tone textured finish on the walls to depict the trees within Hillock Park itself. So what we see is a very nice mixture of the space that they wanted to bring in together with modern living in your unit itself. The clubhouse itself has many large function rooms. Residents get to book the entire clubhouse, get to enjoy the inside and outside of space with the backdrop of a 50-meter slab pool at the back. And I think it's a very nice area. So we know that Guacoland loves to celebrate homecoming. We can also see how grandly they have designed the entire journey of coming home to Lentor Mansion. As you turn into Lentor Mansion itself, even the guardhouse has the design shelter of a black and white colonial house. When you drive in through, you'll be driving through a boulevard that is lined on left and right with 14 yellow flame trees, which are heritage trees in Singapore. And during a certain time in the year where it fully blooms, you will have full yellow crown of the trees.
Oh, wow.
So imagine driving through this entire stretch before you reach the drop-off area. It is actually a very grand drop-off area with shelter that looks a lot like what we see in the European countries, and they call it the porte cochere. So that is a very nice area where you welcome guests, and when you come home, and that's the feeling they wanted to bring across, and I think they have done it so successfully. So other than that, we also see that they have 2 juvenile tembusu trees that will be planted in a very large lawn area in the middle of the development. These tembusu trees can grow up to 40 meters tall, right? And actually that to us represents the theme of building homes that transcend through generations.
Right, okay.
And the tembusu tree will witness these generations of people living within this development itself. More importantly, on a more technical aspect, I think people would love to see that we are on the largest land plot out of all 11 Lentor plots. We are sitting on more than 200,000 square feet of land, and the best part is we only have 533 units.
Right.
So the density is very, very low. There's a lot of space around the area, and because Guacoland wanted to design Lentor Mansion to be with the centric of homestay, they did not design any 1 bedrooms.
Okay.
The unit ranges from 2 bedrooms all the way to 5 bedrooms. And it's good for buyers to know that Lentor Mansion is the only development for now that has 5 bedrooms in their development.
Ooh,
Yep.
very nice.
As we look around the development, you can also see where the tembusu trees are being grown. That large lawn area itself is already sitting on 500 square meters thereabout. And it's as big as the size of a bungalow, right? And it's just full open space so that families get to enjoy the luxury of space. And I like how residents, when this development is completed, to be walking around such majestic space, the very strong character and theme that is within Lentor Mansion, yet you have a timeless design on the facade of the building, with very good internal spaces as well. Because of the sloping terrain to the backdrop of where Hillock Park is, the entrance seems to be on ground level, but in fact, it is actually your basement 1. With that, what you see is that you have very vast openness of a basement where it's not the typical dark and hidden. As you move up to level 1, that is where it is the facility that is elevated upwards by about 4 meters. It gives you very good view around. Lentor Mansion is also one of the few plots that will offer various views from all parts of the development. You have the taller buildings that will be able to look out towards the reservoir area, which other developments for now do not offer that. You also have the landed view when you are looking past Lentor Gardens. That's where the landed area is. And of course, towards the back, you know we are being backed by Hillock Park. So residents that are facing the back get a third view of the Hillock Park itself.
Wow, nice.
So another point to note is also Lentor Mansion may be one of the last few plots that will be within 1 kilometer to CHIJ Senix. Because the future plots are all further away. There may be one more plot that is within 1 kilometer, but we are already running very low in inventory for units that are within 1 kilometer to Senix. Out of all the launches that we had in Lentor, we have sold more than 70% of the units already.
Now that we're done with the whole design concept of Lentor Mansion, it's now time to go check out the show units itself, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be exciting, so let's go. And right here at Lentor Mansion, we do have 4 show units for every of our single bedroom type. So right now we're here at our 2-bed, 2-bath, about 657 square feet, excluding the aircon ledges. So Ken, share with us a little bit more about what's your favorite part about this 2-bed, 2-bath.
So I love this 2-bedroom because of the wide distance that we have. You can see that from wall to wall, we are looking at about 3 meters consistently throughout
Across
the
all the
entire
way.
unit.
Yeah.
And that's a luxury because it feels really like a 3-bedroom kind of
Right.
distance wall to wall. And the space is amazing. So although this is a Jack and Jill layout, you have rooms on both sides. You take away the space from the walkways that
Yeah.
are not needed and give it to the space that is most utilized, most functional within the unit.
Very nice.
Right? So as we move on, there's a very nice segregation from this living area
To the dining.
to the dining, right? So that's where the doors for the rooms are. And this dining area, in fact, even if you want to extend out, you have more space to move around.
Right.
And that's
You can
just
just
that's the
shift it,
luxury
yeah.
of the 3 meters that you have. So this kitchen, although it is an open concept kitchen, but you have very huge functional space across the L-shaped paneling.
Yeah.
The space is wide enough again to even include a pantry area for your
Beautiful.
coffee machine, storage of your glasses and everything. Right, so we have a very nice recess area in your entrance part. And of course, because of the width and the length of this unit for the 2-bedroom, you can even choose to build a sliding wooden door if you want to, or even if you want to keep it open, it can be a glass door, but you still have ample space in your living and dining, yet separate and enclose the kitchen for heavy
Right.
cooking if you need to. It's
sure.
going to be a very popular design within Lentor Mansion,
Okay.
and definitely a popular choice for buyers.
So there are a total of 45 5-bedroom units, and we're standing in one of the show units, which is a 5-bedroom at 1485 square feet without the aircon ledges. So Ken, what's so special about this 5-bedder?
So I like this part about the 5 bedrooms where when you open up the door, you're actually in a very nice private area. So we have a bathroom over there that
Yeah.
doubles up as a powder room for your guests when they
Okay.
come in and out of the unit. The space is ample. You actually have a lot of flexibility to create more storages if need to. And then there's a home shelter here that can double up as a helper's room if you want to. And I like the fact that when your guest comes in or when you come home, when you make this turn, you are then immediately greeted by the main luxury of space
Yeah.
within this 5-bedroom. So the kitchen is also very beautifully designed.
It
In
is.
fact, the size feels like a kitchen in the inter-terrace.
Very
right?
nice, yep.
So you actually have a lot of natural light coming in and out of the kitchen with this glass panel over here. And of course, naturally ventilated with a big panel
plus
of
point,
window
of
there.
course,
Yeah. I think the architect has also cleverly tucked away a very nice recess area for your yard. Right? They have storages there for your washing stuff, an area for your washer and dryer. So you have a lot of working spaces all around. And I think this kitchen is something that all wives will love.
Well, yeah, for sure.
So instantly, this part of the 5-bedroom really reminds me a lot of a cluster house and a landed property. The layout is designed to be like that. Over here, you have a very nice longish dining area
Seater, yeah?
that sits an 8-seater, and there's still enough space of circulation to move around, convenience to link to the kitchen area. Guacola has kept very consistent to their design, where you have that same width that runs from your dining area all the way to the living area. Right, so even this living area feels a lot like a landed property.
Very nice.
So I think Guacoland has created a very beautiful design inside and out of
Yeah.
the entire Lentor Mansion. It's beautiful not only just in Lentor area, it is unique even in the landscape of how Singapore developments are in today's market.
That's true.
So I think the design caters a lot for homestay, and I think investors would love to own a unit here as well because of the potential growth that we talked about, of how the North Coast Innovation Corridor Seletar Regional Centre will start growing within close proximity to us. More importantly, I think the resale value will remain high and it will be outstanding throughout the years.
Sure.
When people walk past, drive past to see the facade of the building, see how the landscape and the facility decks are being done up, even to the internal of the units.
Very nice.
So I think Lentor Mansion is a very good choice for homeowners and investors alike.
Yep, agreed. So we're currently at the day 1 of our public preview, and we'll be running for the next 2 weekends. If you are interested to come by to take a look, we would like to urge you to contact your preferred SRI salesperson to come by to check it out. And of course, this is the end of our SRI New Home Showcase. My name is Ainsley.
My name is Ken.
And we'll see you right here at Lentor Mansion. See ya!
Bye.